Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking that was nice while she walked away thinking, guess he's not interested? It happens to men over 50 more often than you'd believe. Not because we're blind, not because we're out of touch, but because women our age flirt differently than when we were younger. Back then, a woman might twirl her hair, giggle, or send you a note with a heart on it. But now, the signals are quieter, almost hidden in everyday conversation. Instead of bold confessions, you'll hear a curious little question, wrapped in politeness, delivered softly enough that if you don't recognize it, you'll miss the moment entirely. And here's the kicker. If you don't catch it, she doesn't complain. She just quietly closes that door. You think you had a pleasant chat. She thinks, okay, he's not interested. That's why today we're going to break down the subtle questions women ask when they are interested, but don't want to risk too much vulnerability all at once. You'll learn why these questions matter, what's really being asked, and how to answer in ways that keep attraction alive instead of accidentally shutting it down. Before we get into it, pause for a moment and like this video. It helps more men like you discover Elderly Active Life, where we upload daily to help you stay sharp, strong, and socially alive in this chapter of life. All right, let's begin. Question number 1. So, how old are you really? On the surface, this sounds innocent. But make no mistake, when she asks this, it's not about the number. It's about your attitude toward that number. Think of it like this. Imagine you're holding a glass of wine. Do you swirl it proudly, appreciating its richness, or do you complain that it's no longer new? That's exactly what this question reveals. Women aren't looking for youth, they're looking for presence. They want to know if you've made peace with your timeline, or if you carry it like a weight. I'll give you 2 examples. Leonard, 65, was at a jazz bar. When a woman leaned in with that question, he laughed and said, "Too old for you." She smiled politely, but he later admitted the spark vanished. Why? Because his answer came from self-protection, not confidence. On the other hand, Frank, 62, answered differently. When asked his age, he grinned and said, "Old enough to know what matters, young enough to enjoy what's ahead." She laughed, leaned closer, and the conversation blossomed. Psychologically, this question isn't about your past. It's about your energy in the present. Women want to sense whether you're still alive to possibility. If you dodge or deflect, she reads hesitation. But if you answer with calm steadiness, she feels your self-assurance. So remember, when she asks your age, she's not counting candles. She's checking your fire. Question number 2. Why aren't you married? At first glance, this sounds like an interrogation. But 9 times out of 10, it's not about judgment, it's about curiosity. She's trying to see if your life has room for her. Here's what usually happens. Some men overshare, diving into every detail of past divorces. Others laugh bitterly, saying things like, "Marriage? Tried it once, never again." Both answers slam the door she just cracked open. What she really wants to know is, are you emotionally available now? Have you done the work to heal? Or are you still dragging old baggage behind you like an unclaimed suitcase? The best answers are light, but honest. Life kept me busy, but I've got space now for something real. Guess I just haven't met the right person, until maybe now. I'll share a story. Harold, 68, met a woman at a garden club. They laughed over tomatoes, shared stories, and then she asked, "So how come you're not married?" Harold stiffened, muttered something vague, and changed the subject. The next week, she stopped showing up. Later, Harold told me, "I didn't realize she was actually asking about us." That's the psychology here. She's testing the waters of vulnerability. If your answer is calm, steady, and hopeful, she feels safe leaning in. If it's bitter or defensive, she retreats. So the next time you hear this, don't shut her down. Let her know there's space beside you. Question number 3. Do you date younger women? This question catches many men off guard. Some puff up, bragging about younger dates. Others panic and shut it down immediately. Both reactions miss the point. When she asks this, she's not really asking about younger women. She's asking, could you see someone like me as more than just a friend? Take Walter, 59. He met a mid-40s woman at a bookstore. Over coffee, she leaned back and asked the question. Walter smiled and said, I don't date by age, I date by connection. She lit up, and that conversation became dinner, then more. Now contrast that with Edward, 61, who answered, I'm way too old for you. She laughed politely but never called back. He thought he was being respectful. She thought he was rejecting her. Psychologically, women ask this to see if the present moment matters more to you than a birth year. Your answer tells her whether she's a possibility or a non-starter. So the best move, keep it simple. I care more about how a woman makes me feel than the number on her license. That shows openness without desperation. Question number 4. What kind of woman do you usually go for? This one is huge. On the surface, it sounds like small talk, but it's really her way of asking, do I fit into your world? Here's the trap. Listing physical traits like you're ordering dinner. Tall, athletic, brunette, loves golf. That tells her you're attached to an image, not a connection. Instead, speak to qualities that matter across time. I admire women who are curious about life. Someone who can laugh even when the day is tough. Notice, those are traits she can see in herself. If she's interested, she's silently checking boxes as you speak. Take Calvin, 63, a retired firefighter. While painting a fence with a woman during a volunteer project, she asked this question. Without hesitation, he said, I guess I like someone who makes a room feel peaceful just by being in it. Hours later, she stayed behind to help clean up. As they packed brushes, she smiled and said, I was hoping I was your type. That's how powerful this question is. It's not about fantasy, it's about belonging. Question number 5. Are you always this charming? When she asks this, she's doing 2 things, acknowledging the spark and testing if you can carry it. Most men drop the ball here with jokes, only on Tuesdays. It seems harmless, but it diffuses the spark she just handed you. Better answers keep it playful, but steady. Only when I'm with someone who makes it easy. I save it for conversations that matter. Dennis, 70, told me about meeting a woman at a dinner gathering. After some banter, she teased, Are you always this charming? He leaned slightly closer and said, Depends. Are you always this curious? She laughed, not politely but with real interest. Psychologically, this question is her way of escalating. She's opening the door to flirtation without pressure. Your role is simple, don't fumble. Receive the compliment. Hold the gaze. Let the warmth build. Question number 6. Why don't you have a girlfriend? This one sounds casual, but it's one of the clearest signs she's interested. She's not asking for gossip. She's asking if there's room in your heart. Common mistakes? Saying, I like my freedom, or relationships are too much trouble. That signals you're closed off. Instead, try something open. I've been waiting for something that feels unexpected. I took my time, but I'm open to being surprised. Robert, 71, shared a story about meeting a woman at a gallery. When she asked this, he replied, Because I've been busy learning how to be a better man. Now I'm ready for a better kind of love. Her eyes didn't leave his for the rest of the evening. The psychology? She's dipping a toe in vulnerability. If your response is hopeful, she leans in. If it's closed, she pulls back. Question number 7. Would you ever date someone like me? This is it, the closest thing to a confession. She's no longer speaking generally. She's asking about herself. Many men panic, dodge, or say something lukewarm like maybe. That kills the moment. The right move? Something simple and true. I'd be lucky if I could. Thomas, 66, told me about a walk under a fading sky with a woman he'd been seeing casually. She stopped, looked at him, and asked that exact question. He didn't rush. He looked at her and said, I'd be a fool not to. She took his hand, and they kept walking. This moment is pure vulnerability. She's risking rejection. Meet it with presence, not panic. Here comes your bonus section, the silent signals. Not every invitation comes with words. Sometimes, attraction shows up in pauses, posture, and proximity. A head tilt when you talk. Holding your gaze a fraction longer than others do. Laughing at something that wasn't really a joke. These aren't accidents, they're signals. And physical cues matter, too. A touch on your arm as she makes a point. Standing slightly closer than necessary. Mirroring your movements without realizing it. Daniel, 70, missed these signals for months at his film club. A woman sat near him, touched his hand during jokes, leaned closer. He brushed it off as friendliness. Then she stopped. Only later did he realize she had been inviting him in and he hadn't noticed. Attraction in midlife isn't about bold moves. It's about quiet invitations. The question is, are you present enough to see them? Final reflection. By now, you've seen how subtle attraction can be after 50. The questions aren't loud. The signals aren't obvious. But they're there, quiet, delicate openings wrapped in casual words. The men and women who remember aren't the ones with perfect answers. They're the ones who carried themselves with calm confidence, who noticed, who responded with honesty instead of fear. So here's your takeaway. You don't need to chase. You don't need to perform. You've already lived enough life to know what matters. Now it's about noticing when someone sees you and meeting that moment halfway. Because when you do, conversations stop being small talk. They become connected. And connection is what keeps life vibrant at any age. So think back. Have you missed these questions before? Probably. We all have. But the next time you'll see it. And when you do, don't panic. Just answer with steady warmth. If this spoke to you, support us by liking, subscribing, and tapping the bell. Elderly Active Life uploads every day to bring you tools, stories, and insights to keep living with presence and possibility. Until tomorrow, stay open, stay kind, stay grounded. And remember, being open doesn't just mean noticing women's subtle questions. It means being open to life, to new friendships, to unexpected opportunities that show up when you least expect them. Staying kind isn't about being soft. It's about carrying yourself with dignity and generosity, even when the world feels rushed or distracted. Because kindness is magnetic. It makes people want to draw closer. And staying grounded, that's your anchor. No matter your age, your past, or your worries, being grounded means you move through life with steadiness, confidence, and calm. That's what women notice most, not your wrinkles, not your resume, but your presence. So as you go through your week, carry these 3 with you. Seedling openness to receive new moments. Seedling kindness that leaves every person better than you found them. Seedling groundedness that shows you're fully alive, here and now. Do that, and you won't just notice when someone's interested. You'll naturally become the kind of man people want to know better. Until tomorrow, my friend, keep living, keep noticing, and keep choosing presence.